Welcome to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Please be sure to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Mike Catalana, Dan Fates with his Jordans on. I'm Jenna Cottrell. We are previewing this Bills-Patriots matchup, round 3. We know super wild card weekend. It is all on the line. Mike, how do you think this Bills team feels heading into Saturday?
Look, they should feel confident. I think they come into this maybe not playing their best offense of the year, but maybe their best all-around football of the year because the defense and the running game have come through. And I think if you're going to have confidence in somebody being ready, it's going to be Josh Allen in this one. The playoffs have become the thing for this team. They did it against Houston. Remember that game? Halfway through it, they looked great. Then it fell apart, but they learned from that. They came back and they won 2 playoff games last year. I think they feel confident in these big moments with a big crowd at home. They should feel good about themselves. They're better than the Patriots.
Micah Hyde said it's a hell of a drug, confidence. And I think the Bills, obviously, right now, even though they haven't played, I know somebody was talking about, they haven't played, playoff caliber teams the last few weeks. It doesn't matter. We've been saying it, guess what? It is all about, this is like the NCAA tournament. Just win and move on. I think the 2 key factors here in this one is stopping the run, obviously. And we talked about before, A.J. Klein, who didn't play in the first game, played in the second game, and was solid. Harrison Phillips has been playing some really good football, clogging up that inside, that gap integrity that Sean McDermott likes to talk about. That's going to be a big one. And again, I never thought I'd say this. Devin Singletary has become a little bit of a key player.
Wow. Wow. That takes a lot for you, I know.
Must have been the Air Jordans that did it for you.
It's the fact also, guys, it's just the fact of defenses are worn down as well. And I know everybody's like, you got to be able to run the ball in the cold weather. It's also, Josh Allen said it best, you don't really want to tackle in cold weather. It hurts to get hit in cold weather. It hurts. It's harder to get up in cold weather. Yeah, so I think it's not as much as the Bills have this great running attack. It's that defenses, after 18 weeks, are worn down and they can kind of get pushed around.
I mean, also, you look at the Patriots injury report, 13 guys on there are listed as questionable for Saturday's game. But let's talk about this. Bill Belichick, Sean McDermott. I mean, McDermott has beat him 3 out of the last 4 times, but I feel like so much has been talked about, Belichick versus McDermott, especially after that first meeting.
Yeah, well, he couldn't beat him when he had Tom Brady, and the Bills had either Tyrod Taylor or they had a rookie, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And when did he start to beat him? He beat him when he had the better quarterback. Dan hit on that. He's got the better quarterback. What that does is it evens things up a bit. Hey, look, Belichick's awesome. I mean, he's the greatest coach of all time. Don't feel badly feeling that way. I know Bills fans do, but he is, and he's won that much. But he did it with Brady, and when you don't have the quarterback, it's a lot tougher. And the Bills have beaten him 3 out of 4, and the one they lost was strange circumstances. Boy, the other 2, they handled them the last game here, and a year ago, they blew them out. I think the key to this game is absolutely getting the lead. You get the lead on the Patriots with Mac Jones as the quarterback, who is young, who has not played well down the stretch. And Dan talking about cold weather, this kid's from Florida, played at Alabama, played in domes. He's never seen anything like he's going to see Saturday. Force him to be their offense, and you're in good shape.
And you talked about it, the fact of Sean McDermott, that second time they played, the one meeting that they won, aggressive. That opening drive, 12 plays, 75 yards, went for it on 4th and goal from the 2. That is the message. I like that. We talked about in the first game, too timid. That's it. And again, the conditions on the Monday night in Orchard Park, yes, they were crazy, but it was still just an overly cautious Sean McDermott. And we have seen when they were successful in 2020 and again this year, they're aggressive. Sean McDermott is the one dictating the pressure, and he's the kind of one forcing opponents to play their style and not the other way around. Bill Belichick wants to be conservative. He doesn't have the quarterback to be able to take chances. You're the one that has the quarterback that can change games, like he's did on 4th downs when they beat him.
All right, you mentioned the weather. Supposed to be really cold.
Balmy.
A balmy 0 degrees out there on Saturday night. Dan Fates will be on the field, so thoughts and prayers to him. But, Mike, do you think that the weather will affect this game, or how much do you think it will?
If it's not windy, I don't think it's going to affect it. You guys are down there a lot. What do you say to me all the time? The wind wasn't that bad. When it is bad and it's impactful, it's the kick game, it's the return game, and it's certainly the pass game. If the passing games are able to operate, it's not supposed to be wet. It won't be a slick field. I don't think the ball's going to get wet either. It's not supposed to snow. It's not supposed to rain. It's supposed to be dry and cold. No one loves being out there at 0. But if it's not windy and it's not snowing and it's not the wet ball from like the rain that we've seen happen, then the passing games can still be really effective, and the Bills have the better passing game.
This cold weather, Tom Brady talks about it. Again, we're getting a lot of Tom Brady talk into this one, but just the fact that he said that, and Josh Allen pointed at it, that this cold weather, it's a mindset. It's more of a mental edge or a mental barrier than it is a physical barrier. And Tom Brady was one that always said he just had to deal with it. Josh Allen and this team has dealt with a lot of adversity and a lot of hurdles. Losses against Jacksonville, getting embarrassed by the Colts. They're the team that is built to overcome these obstacles. I don't think the rookie quarterback for New England is built for these adverse conditions.
It's so interesting, too, because I feel like last year we talked about how easy everything was for this team. Obviously, they made it to the AFC championship game. But this year, I think you're right, Dan. I think this team is just more battle-tested. We've seen them been able to fight, kind of come up off the mat.
Good term, battle-tested. Yeah.
I mean, it's true. I think like you've seen that. And they also have, of course, that experience last year in the playoffs. So
yeah, that was when you were heading there. That's exactly what I was going to say. You remember that Colts game came right down to the end.
Yeah.
Ravens game was tight. They were driving for the tie when Taron Johnson made the play.
Yeah.
That's what you need in the NFL in the postseason. Most of these games are going to be really close. They're going to be tough. Somebody makes a play. Bills have more playmakers.
Yeah, there's no extra style points. It's just win and move on. So going to that, Mike, what's your prediction?
I think the Bills are the better team. They have the better quarterback. They're the more confident team, and they are at home. That hasn't been a big edge, but they haven't had this kind of crowd for a playoff game. It's going to be packed. It's going to be intense. New England will come to play, but I think the Bills have the lead the whole way, and they win it 20-16.
2016. Dan, what about you?
Weather the early nerves. Josh Allen to stay composed, get the lead early like Mike's point, and I think then it's kind of smooth sailing. You can keep, Mac Jones, McCorkle Jones at arm's distance that you don't think he's really going to be able to drive down the field. Don't turn the ball over and punt. You'll be fine, even for how questionable Matt Hawk has been at punting. I still think the Bills get the job done 23-17 and move on.
The turnovers, that's one thing that I'm curious about what we'll see in this game, especially considering the cold, whether the ball will be slick. Sean McDermott talked about this week the players actually practicing with a frozen football, which, I mean, talk about getting ready for all types of elements. I also loved this, too. Ed Oliver was talking about it. He said that this game, it's like when you would play one-on-one basketball with your brother. You know what each other's repertoire is. You know what you're going to see, but at the same point, it's just about who wants it more. This Bills team is the more talented team. We already know that. They're more battle-tested. They're more experienced. They have more playoff experience at quarterback. I'm going with the Bills winning this one 21-17. It's at home. Bills fans, we know they are so excited for this game, but I think it's going to be a great showing on Saturday night. And Dan, you get the front row seat.
This could be real warm. Yeah, just it's a mindset.
It's a mindset.
Mentally, I'm going to be in like the desert. That's where I'm going to be.
Yeah.
That's going to take some mind work.
Yeah, that's going to some mental gymnastics.
Still a couple of Bills tickets available.
At this point, we'll see.
At this point, as we record this on Thursday.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see.
They'll be sold out.
I would imagine so. All right, for Mike and Dan, I am Jenna Cottrell. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the Buffalo Plus podcast. We'll have plenty of post-game coverage also on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. We always appreciate you all watching. Thank you so much. We'll catch you next time on Buffalo Plus.